Here's an easy acoustic phone setup that you can do yourself without a wall. I'm Andrew Can, and if I can have an acoustic foam setup without a wall, you can too. If you are interested in learning how to install acoustic foam panels to your wall without damaging them, I do have a video on that and you can check it out on screen now. If you want this acoustic foam setup for yourself, affiliate links will be in the description down below. Later in this video, I'll show you a sound test and what it sounded like in a room before adding the acoustic foam setup and then after. Here's what you'll need: a light stand, a metal clamp holder or spring clamp, acoustic foam wall panels which come in a pack of either 2 or 4. Although, I already had a light stand and some spring clamps, so this only ended up costing me around $45. Similar setups to this can cost anywhere between $150 all the way up to $500 USD. Now, this isn't saying that those systems don't work. In fact, they do, and they do work well. And if you can afford them, I highly recommend you look into them. However, if you need a solution that can help stop echo and sound reflections, this is a great alternative. In fact, setup is pretty easy. Here, let me show you. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Some people might want to know, why not just install these acoustic foam panels on walls? And if you're like me in an apartment where you're renting, it doesn't make sense to have acoustic foam panels like this everywhere in your living space. Another great reason is that if you're inside a location that has a lot of echo, this is a great solution, especially since most of the time when you're filming on location, you can't really hard install things to the walls. I do want to mention that acoustic foam panels like this one cannot soundproof a room. What they're designed to do is help absorb some of the echo and sound reflections in a room so you don't hear them in your recording. Here's an example now. You can hear me crystal clear, but if I raise the acoustic foam panel in front of me, notice how it absorbs most of the sound and sounds muffled. However, this isn't true soundproofing, because if it was true soundproofing, you wouldn't be able to hear anything of what I'm saying. So this does not soundproof a room. A lot of times I get questions like, will this stop car noises or will people not be able to hear me? That's not what this is here to do. Like I said earlier, it's just going to absorb some of the echo and reverberation of your sounds. I'm going to let you now hear some examples of what this solution sounded like in a room before I added the acoustic foam setup and after I added it, and I hope you can hear a huge difference. Right now I'm in my living room, and as you can hear, there is absolutely no acoustic foam treatment. So what I'm going to do is bring in the acoustic foam setup from earlier and let you hear it before and after. So why don't we go ahead and get started. And here's what it sounds like with these acoustic foam panels set up. As you can hear, there is a lot less echo and reflection in my sound, and it sounds so much more usable than it did before. This lets me film in new locations because I'm not bound to having these panels put to a wall. Here's what that clip from earlier sounded like. Right now I'm in my living room, and as you're probably able to hear, this has no acoustic treatment. This acoustic foam setup really does help improve my sound. So here's an example of what it sounds like with some audio editing in post and without. Here's what my voice sounds like coming straight from camera with my deity microphone on top. And here's what it sounds like with a little bit of audio processing in post. This setup can also be really good for live streaming, if you're like me and your setup doesn't necessarily face towards a wall. Because of my unique living space, my desk ends up being in my living room. So having these acoustic foam panels and being able to remove them and take them down really does make a huge difference, especially when I have guests over. So I can not only improve my sound quality with this setup, but I can also remove it if I have people coming over and it's not so visually jarring. Were you able to hear a difference in this wall-less acoustic foam setup? Let me know in those comments down below. If you'd like to see more videos on how you can improve your sound quality, check out that playlist on screen. If you'd like to learn more filmmaking techniques like this one that you can do yourself, subscribe and ring that bell today. I'm Andrew Can, and if I can, you can too.